What is gratefulness? How can being grateful change your perspective on life? How can you choose to be grateful today? To define the word, being grateful is having a feeling of thankfulness or showing an appreciation of kindness. It's the emotion of being pleased or relieved. Today I want to leave you with something lasting, pierce your hearts, hit your soul, and allow your minds to grasp something so simple. I want you to experience listening to me and understanding how at just 11 years old, I began to better understand how the effects of anxiety, pain, and doubt can create a stronghold in our lives unless we do one simple thing: be grateful. This is the power of choosing gratitude. It was a beautiful Friday afternoon in my old town of Merced, California. And as a fifth grader who just got back home from school, I wanted to go outside, play, be with my friends, and all that fun stuff. But first I got this funny idea to surprise attack my dad, who was on a riding lawnmower, just got back home from work, by shooting him in the back of his head with my wooden rubber band gun. I thought it would be hilarious. So I got up, got my rubber band gun, and ventured off to my backyard to see my dad mowing the yard from one side of the lawn to the other. I saw him reach the middle of the lawn, and as he reached the middle of the lawn, I decided to sneak right up behind him without him even noticing, and he didn't notice at all. I was then behind the mower, and he reached the edge of the lawn, and then stopped the mower and put it in reverse. I stumbled to the ground trying to get away. I tripped, and the back right tire came at me. The whole mower came at me, and the back right tire went on my right foot, and the blade completely took my foot. My dad felt this bump, sprung up into action, and lifted this 1,000-pound lawnmower onto its side like it was nothing. Crying, screaming, he came to me, hugged me, kissed me, couldn't believe that this was happening to his baby boy. He reacted perfectly, though, and got towels to stop the bleeding, wrapped my leg in a tourniquet, and called 911 soon after, and I was airlifted to a medical center where I underwent 4 surgeries within 11 days, and they amputated 2 inches above my ankle. Let's take a breath. That was a lot. But as devastating as that was or is, whenever I share how I lost my foot with people, I always end it with what I said to my mom right out of my first surgery, and that was this. I said, "Mom, I know this happened for a reason." To reiterate, I said, "Mom, I know this happened for a reason." I knew I had purpose in this moment. I probably wasn't necessarily thinking about it, but I was so thankful for something so severe to happen to me. I did deal with pain and a lot of doubt, but it's almost as if I knew the blessings that were about to unfold through this very pain and suffering. What I mean by this is that the acknowledgement of blessings in our lives leads to an open mind of gratitude. This gratitude then affects our brains, literally changing our neural structures to make us feel happier and more content, even with tragedy. Amidst this tragedy, though, I constantly looked for the good in a bad situation. And this directly correlates to a neurochemical level in our brain where gratitude acts as a catalyst for neurotransmitters like dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine. Basically, the emotions that maintain and can even uplift, or basically the chemicals that can maintain or uplift our emotions pertaining to pain and immediate stress responses. Now, I didn't know this kind of science at the time, but I want you to imagine being my dad and having been involved with this accident, witnessing your own child choose gratitude after something so traumatizing. Wouldn't that change your perspective on life? It changed my life, and it changed his soon after. You see, gratitude not only affects yourself, but others around you as well. This is a constant battle that we face in our minds every day. We wake up every day and choose the life we are going to live. Why not make it a grateful one? My gratitude only escalated in relation to my faith, and it was in this faith that I felt stronger, could push harder, and reach for the stars, and become resilient through trial and future adversities. For example, when I was released from the hospital and put in a wheelchair, I chose to be grateful with the rough road of recovery ahead. And this led to hope for what was to come. Hope to know that I was one step closer to being able to walk again. when I got my cast removed and was finally able to use crutches. After intense physical therapy, I chose to be grateful. And this led to built-up resilience so that I could push through barriers because I was so grateful for all that I had and what I had gone through already that I knew I could keep going. When I was finally able to be fitted, adjusted, and got my first prosthetic, wow, was I grateful. Especially seeing my mom and dad in tears, watching me take my first steps again, like I was a toddler. Also, and this is one of the best parts of my story, my leg was at the point where it was fully healed so that I could, to where I could get back into one of my favorite places ever. I could fully submerge my leg into this place, a place I felt I was born into and meant for something more, the pool, the water. The amount of freedom that I felt in the water to just be weightless and swim around like there's like nothing was and is the most critical part of my journey. And it made me all the more grateful for everything that I went through, both mentally and physically. I had overcome so much to finally get back into the water again, which was a goal of mine after the accident. And I even began to have the desire to want to compete against other able-bodied athletes and beat them. The reason for this is because I felt normal in the water, free, and just like everybody else. I felt like I had purpose in the water. Achieving each of these victories in every part of this healing was key. It allowed for me to find more of my purpose. And almost every day, I chose to be grateful, though some days I didn't, and I felt the harsh repercussions that come from that. Because staying in a negative state of mind will torment you. And I know this because, well, let's be honest, there's no way I could be grateful every single day. That's impossible. I urge you, though, to choose gratitude in the hardest moments of life, because you'll start to see a better version of yourself. You'll start to see a more empathetic, optimistic, selfless, and spiritual side that you may have never even seen before. I discovered more of who I was and am from the times that I chose gratitude and from the times that I didn't. All this to say that during this time of healing, recovery, finally being able to walk again and diving back into the water was and is the most critical part of my journey and for what was to come. I knew this was just the beginning. So a few years later, I began high school and started swimming more competitively. And I realized that the pool was where I was meant to be and that something great could come from the sport. In fact, a week after graduating high school in 2015, I got offered by a Paralympic coach to train for the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games, an opportunity I never expected. Right away, I accepted this offer and started rigorously training with elite athletes seeking community and growth with hard work and determination. I learned quickly that gratitude is inseparably linked with self-discipline and motivation, because when we're grateful for all that we have, we work harder, go further, and reach for the stars. For me, though, I ended up landing on the moon. How, you may ask? Well, in just a short amount of time and with the right mindset, I made the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games within that year. Thank you. The experience was remarkable and incredible. And competing for Team USA in the world stage was absolutely nerve-wracking. It was absolutely nerve-wracking. It was absolutely nerve-wracking. I couldn't believe where I was at, that I was able to compete for Team USA on the world stage for my own country. It was incredible. What started out for me as a tragic and terrible accident at the age of 11 ended up to be a story of triumph at the age of 19. Because I'm still not done yet. Because now at the age of 24 years old, I achieved a bronze medal at the World Championships in 2017, a year after Rio, a gold medal at the Pan American Games in 2019. And I'm currently training for the Tokyo 2021 Games this year. And even amidst the setbacks of 2020 in relation to COVID-19, I was nothing but motivated and grateful through every single day of it. Why? I took last year as an opportunity to do better, be better, and work harder than ever. I adapted and knew that my mind was trained to react positively to disaster because of my choice of gratitude from my past. With practice and commitment, gratitude can become a natural response to said disasters, to failures, to life's hardest moments. It's what can pick us back up on our feet, or foot, and allow for us to keep going. I am grateful for my failures, for my hardest moments in life, and I'm even filled with thankfulness for what happened to me when I was 11 years old. I would even go as far as to say that I would not reverse time to have my foot back again, because it's made me who I am, and I'm grateful for that. Rejoice always, give thanks in all circumstances. I've spent most of my life choosing this mental attitude, and it has continually defeated the emotional toll of anxiety, pain, and doubt. It is hard, and most of the time it's not easy to choose this perspective. But within the simple act of being grateful, you will start to see your perception on life be changed. This is the power of choosing gratitude. So, how can gratitude change your perspective on life? Are you going to choose to be grateful today? Thank you so much.